In this review, we're going to look at the new Marvel Legends Skaar, Son of Hulk. Skaar comes in the new style packaging. We got the window boxes back, the new black and gold motif on the boxes, really nice artwork of the character on the back of the box, warnings, attentions, Marvel trademarks, and there's your barcode if you need it. Got the celebrating 85 years logo on the box in several locations. And we have Skaar in the plastic tray. Comes with his large knife, sword, 2 gripping hands, alternate face with a windswept hair and gritted teeth. And here we have Skaar outside the plastic tray, and he looks good. He's a good sized figure. He's on a shares a lot of parts with the Caliban figure, so he's a good sized figure. He's not 80th inch Hulk size, but he's pretty well perfect scaled for Skaar. The new parts is a new upper torso, arms, head sculpts, and all the different pieces too, with the loincloth piece, the new boots. He gets a nice big sword. It's got a silvery finish to it, and also looks like it's made out of stone, like stone or rough metal. I can do along with his old stone powers. Dagger in the same style, which looks really good. He gets 2 alternate hands. He gets a gripping hand for his right with a vertically hinged hinged hand, and he gets a horizontally hinged grip hand for the left. One thing I've noticed though on both my copies, I got 2 of these Skaars. The left leg is longer than the right leg. He cannot stand up straight. In a neutral position, one leg is making him tilt over to the side. And you can notice, let's see, pull here. I gotta pull it over. There's a gap underneath the leg to get him to stand evenly. It's not just this one, it's both copies. So you can see they stand tilted. So you gotta lift them up on one side to get stand evenly. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I thought maybe it'd just been on the copy I opened first. It is on both of my Skaars. The right leg is clearly shorter than the left on both of them. I don't know if it's due with the boots. With the Caliban's got those weird boot cuts. They're at an angle, and they look like they're the same length boots. I wonder if the calves are a little bit different lengths on those. What I ended up doing is popping the legs off the extra Caliban, trying to figure out what's going on. The legs pop off really easily where it's based on Caliban. It's Build-A-Figure parts. And the plastic seems softer than Caliban, so these pop off way too easily, actually. But looking at the parts, you can see the one leg is visibly shorter than the other. I was trying to figure out what's causing it, but I believe I figured it out. The knee piece is longer on this one compared to this one. You can see there's a bigger gap on this leg and then this leg, which is causing that discrepancy in height. That's weird. So it's not just on the one copy, it's on both of them. That is very odd. But overall, it's a great looking figure. Other than the minus weird issue of him standing lopsided. I think it does cause a little bit of a balance issue because you got this going on because of that short leg. So you got to work with get him flat footed. The new parts is the upper torso, shoulders, biceps, forearms, and hands, and the new head. Of course, the loincloth and the boots, and all the other accessories. He does have a butterfly joint, but it is very restricted. It does not move a whole lot. You can get, that's his forward movement. This is all the way forward, and that's all the way back. You still got this much. You can't move. I'm willing to bet it's got the peg system like they have like on a lot of the new, like on the Vulcan and a few other figures. Got a long peg and there's a track inside. This runs along, and it's hindered by that, but I wouldn't suggest cutting the pegs, because a lot of these newer figures, the peg is what holds the butterfly joint stiff, and if you cut that, you get a floppy arm. So I'm probably going to pop this out, and best way to do that is lengthen the track that it runs in, so you get more range of movement, and you don't get the loose butterfly joint. The head is on a ball joint for disc hinge. So very similar to Caliban, a little narrower joint. I was glad to see they didn't do a double ball peg. I'm not a fan of double ball pegs because I like my figures to be able to look up. Double ball pegs rarely are done where the figures can actually look up really well. I know you get more tilt side to side, but I don't really care about that movement. But I like the disc hinge better, so you get better up and down. It's more important to me than the neck attitude that a lot of people like. Ab section is still from the Caliban, which go ahead and just bring in the Caliban for comparison. The shared parts is the ab section, the ab crunch, the waist, the hips, legs, knees, and upper shins. And that's the only part shared with the Caliban. Both look good. They're similar size. I mean, push down his foot so he stands up straight. So he's same height as Caliban. Just Caliban's a little broader with this chest, which to me this chest would have been fine too, since we don't really have any range of movement in these butterflies. But anyway, Caliban's arms are longer too. I kind of like the longer arms. I don't like when they make the biceps really short like this. They shorten them down. Still got a good size to it, but it is definitely shorter than the Calibans. So his hands don't come down as far. I think they could have been, if they come down as far as the Caliban, I think they would have looked a little bit better. The color and stuff looks really good. Skaar is one of those characters, the color will change a lot in the comics. Like sometimes he's more gray, sometimes he's more green. So it's kind of hard to nail down what exact color he was in the comics exactly. They got his tribal tattoo done really well for the paint deco. It's very clean. Nice paint apps on all the parts. So I'll probably end up taking one of these and doing some washes and dry brushing on. Just bring out the details, because the colors are really flat, which was fine for the price point we're getting. Just all this extra detail really gets brought out when you do a little extra work to them. Let's go ahead and run down the articulation. We got the look up, look down, full rotation, disc hinge shoulders, can go up to here, full rotation, bicep swivel, which is a floating piece, which I assume this is like the 80th anniversary Hulk. The bicep is actually just a cover. The forearm plugs into the shoulder, because that just free rotates. And you get a rotation at the elbow as well, and you get up to just under 90 degrees, just right about almost 90. Disc hinge wrist, horizontally hinged on the fist. One of the grip hands is horizontally hinged and the other one is vertically hinged. You get an ab crunch, very tight, crunches forward, crunches back. You get a waist twist, where it's Caliban, which is also very tight, and you got the skirt piece too, loincloth. You got ball jointed hips. You can go out to here without popping the leg off. So these hips are very soft plastic, so they pop off really easily. Caliban, it takes a little effort to get those off. Double jointed knees. Get you up to here, all the way up, kick his butt. And boot rotation. You get that weird angle, so it's going to be weird when you do the rotation, because it's going to pop out. I wish they would have used the legs off the Apocalypse. The boot cuts were straight, and maybe wouldn't have the issue with the one long knee. Got hinged ankles, then go down this far. up this far. This one's very tight, and this one's loose. And it's the same on the other one. You got ankle pivots, very articulated. This is just the butterfly joints. Like I said, they are hindered. This side, said this as far as they will go. And I will have to work on that, see if I can get to improve on that. For all the different accessories, you've got a sheath on the back for the knife, which is nice. And it slides in this way. And you got your alternate hands. Like I said, you got your horizontal hinged hand on the left, vertically hinged on the right, big sword. And let's look at the sculpted detail. Here is the alternate faceplate with the gritted teeth and windswept hair. Looks really good. On the other head sculpt, we get the more stern hair straight down. You can move his hair out of the way, see his face a little more. It's full deco on the face, just the hair just covers it up. I've seen companies in the past where the hair comes over top the eyes and like paint one side of the head. So that's good they actually did that. You know, I'll end up doing some dry brushing, some greens into the hair, make it look a little better. We get the forearm bracers. These are separate pieces, but they're glued in place, and the forearms are actually notched for these pieces, especially on this one over here. You can see the seam right here. So these are, you can see the notch there where it slides on it glued on. Not as noticeable here, but it is notched as well. And back of the hands, you got the nice armored plate on the back of the hand. Because all his armor is like rock and metal. I would say he used his Odestone powers to create. You got the new loincloth piece. It's a fur, like very reminiscent of He-Man or Conan. Looks really good. You get the single strap around. It's not really a bandolier because it doesn't really hold anything. It's just strap. Would have been nice had some kind of holder for the sword back here. So that would have looked really cool because you can always slide the sword back in here and store it that way. And that one leg being shorter is just driving me nuts, makes them off balance. So it looks good just having the sword slide in there, but been nice, been had like a little sheath piece or like a clip like they do on He-Man figures. And we got the new boots with the armored shin pads out of rock or stone and the fur boots. These look really good. I always like Skaar. He's like a Hulk version of Conan, and he looked really cool looking design. I always liked him. And it's bringing this Big Daddy. We got a Mercury Hulk, which has got a custom head sculpt. I'm using the Maestro to do the Professor Hulk. I like the scale. These look good together. There's a good size difference between the two characters, and it's very reminiscent in the comics. Let's do a few more comparisons on size. Here we have a Grim Reaper body, and we have a Sunfire mold. Both of those get dwarfed by this body, which very appropriately so for he's a Hulk. We got Classified Sergeant Slaughter, Motu Masterverse Clawful, Cowboy Wolverine, Female Shield Agent. Overall, he's a great looking figure. Huge improvement over the horrible, horrible original figure. That was the Fin Fang Foom Wave Target exclusive way back when. But he's got a couple issues with him, like I mentioned. Like the knee on his side is a little bit longer, which causes the legs to be uneven. And the butterfly movement range is very limited. So I'm going to try to tweak that. But overall, it's still a great addition to your collection. I really like this thing. It's just over the top, so much better than the original one. And that's been all I got to say to this one. I recommend getting this sucker. It's like, it is a little annoying with the legs popping out way too easily. But other than that, it is a great figure. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch the review. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll catch y'all next time.